Room 2110, I knocked on the door at the penthouse suite, 'cause I needed more from you. Oh, I wanted an explanation. Red Solo cups all over the floor, and your friends passed out, sleeping in that bed you wanted us to hang out in. I guess you threw yourself a party, and you chose not to invite me. Yeah, you threw yourself a party, but you wanted me for a good time.
Hey guys, so welcome back to my vlog. It's DuskyDakota here, and when I say vlog, this vlog is more of like a time lapse of me doing my paint with numbers painting that I bought off of Shopee because they were having a mid sales and it was free shipping like almost 2 weeks ago. And when I say chit chat, as per the title, it's more of me telling you some of my embarrassing or cringe-worthy stories while you listen. So as you can see, I started off my painting horribly, and you can see the small section that I decided to paint here. It actually took me more than half an hour to complete these two spots, and they are the biggest spots, and I kept coloring out of the freaking line. Clearly, someone, which is me referring to me by the way, doesn't have enough experience with line coloring when I was still a kid. So anyways, I eventually gave up coloring like the small patches that are at the bottom of the painting, which I decided to start, and I decided to start the patches that are like a lot bigger, which is the sky, that are on top of the painting. However, as you can see from this like mixture of shades of blue, yellow, and I actually mixed a bit of white in there, I messed up big time. And I have a reason for this. This is because like the painting was supposed to be light yellow, but I'm not sure whether it's because the supplier had this paint with number painting for too long, and the yellow has faded to white, which I seriously I cannot even, I had to improvise, okay? And for some reason I decided to dip splashes of blue instead of freaking yellow. Such a freaking genius lah. And anyways, I have no idea how I'm gonna fix this, and initially I asked my dad to help me, and he was telling me I was like doing such a good job of replicating the sample picture that was given to me, but I was not having it. I kept pestering and basically begging him to help me because it was like the painting was like so horrible, and he was like, okay, I'll help you to fix the painting tonight, which I'm like super grateful for. Thank you, daddy. So anyways, as you continue to watch this time lapse of me and a little bit of my dad doing this paint with numbers, yeah, you can listen to like some of my stories that I have to share about my experience with art. So back when I was a kid, I think I was about 6 or 7, my parents decided to send me to an arts class, and the teacher who was at the arts class was actually very good in her job, because instead of teaching us how to draw certain characters or elements one by one, she actually drew out the fishes, for example, on a piece of paper. Step 1 is a line, step 2 is a curve, step 3 is the fins, which honestly made everything so much easier. And if I remember correctly, she had this like stack of these papers with a step-by-step drawing in a basket, and she gives like each, and I think about 3 or 4 kids to share the basket of step-by-step pictures at the same time. And basically you're allowed to choose which dolphins or fishes or any other themes that we were doing for that particular month or weeks on your drawing paper. And I remember I was like having so much fun with it, thinking that I could actually draw when I obviously can't. It was like more of me replicating or imitating what I saw on the sheet of paper, which is actually really fun, to be honest. I kind of wish they do that with adults class. Oh, or maybe I should do that in the future. I mean, obviously I can't draw, so not really. Or maybe I can propose this as a business idea to like one of my friends, because like anyways, this is like a business story for another day. I have like a lot of business goals in my head that I want to do, by the way. And yeah, hopefully when time comes, I get to do them all, because I'm really looking forward to it. So anyways, continuing with this art class story, I really enjoyed my time doing arts, but one of the memories that I have of the art class is that I really hate using crayons. And because like we are all children who are under the age of 12, we are only basically allowed to use crayons, and being able to use watercolor is actually such a treat, okay? And I love watercolor so much, especially when I'm painting the sea, because you know, you get to use like the white crayons to like draw on the paper like the waves, and then when you paint the color blue over, and like you can see like the white curvy line that you drew as a wave appeared there. It was like such a mind-blowing thing for me to do when I was a kid, and I was obsessed with it. Okay, back to why I don't like using crayons is because like it's dirty, okay? It gets my fingers dirty, it gets under my nails, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And especially when we have to blend like two different shades of the same color, we had to like use like a handkerchief or a tissue to do it, and I hate it so much because it like kind of burns my finger. So yeah, I'm not really sure if any artist enjoys using crayon, because like based on what I saw on YouTube, I never really seen people using crayons. Most often I would see oil paint or just like watercolor. That's it. Anyways, the art class was amazing, and I think I still kept some of the artworks that I had from the art class upstairs. And there's this one, aside from Under the Sea theme, another art which I had a really fond and vivid memory of is the Mooncake Festival. And if you don't know what the Mooncake Festival is, because you're not from any Asia countries such as China or Malaysia or Singapore, I suggest you to go and look it up. It's like a festival. It's a Chinese festival. Anyways, I remember the painting. It was like, you know, instead of people sitting at the festival enjoying mooncakes and watching the moon being round and beautiful, it's humans who are turned into the size of ants, and the ants are invading the mooncake festivals and attacking the humans, if I'm not mistaken. It was such a cute concept in my mind. And yeah, I actually, like, after that class, I recreated that drawing a couple of times when I was at home, and I can draw mooncakes. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I remember back when I was in the art class, I used to hang out with this kid who is probably like 1 or 2 years older than me, and he and I, both of us, do not know each other's names. And to be honest, I don't remember what he looks like now. Actually, like, if you ask me like back in primary 5 or primary 6 whether I still remember what this boy looks like, I don't, okay? Or I'm pretty sure I've forgotten what he looked like as soon as I stopped going to art class, which I don't know why my parents eventually didn't let me go back to art class anymore. I remember I was like pretty sad about it, but you know, kids, right? We just like quickly got over the sadness and decided to do something else. So anyways, this boy and I, we hung out quite often in the art class. Like, usually we'll be like sitting either opposite each other or next to each other, and we don't know each other's names. And I'm pretty sure he was the one who started to call me Princess, and for me, because I don't know his name, I call him Prince. And oh my god, it's like such an embarrassing memory, and it's such like, and at the same time it's like such a sweet memory. And you know, it's like sometimes when you think back of what you did during your childhood, and you're like, and you wonder why that particular memory happened, and how is it possible that you and the other person or the other few people who are involved in the memory don't find it weird at all. Like, that's childhood, I guess. You tend to do a lot of things at that moment where you just enjoy the moment and don't question it, but decided to question it when the memory suddenly strikes you in the middle of the night when you're trying to go to sleep, even though you have insomnia. Okay, so that was like my experience with art at the age of between 6 to 8. I'm not really sure what age I did arts, but I was really young, and I'm pretty sure it's not 6 years. So that's like the year that I almost drowned. Okay, that's like a story for another day. Anyways, I didn't have like any contact with arts until when I was in Form 4 and Form 5. Now, if you're not in Malaysia, or if you're in Malaysia, you will know that Form 4 and Form 5 the students have at that time just finished PMR, which is now known as PT3. We will get sorted into two streams. One is the science stream, where the students will be studying physics, chemistry, and bio. For some reason, I almost said biodiversity. It's biology, okay? Whereas the art stream, you have like a couple of subdivisions, such as art, where you like draw and paint. You have economics, you have counting, and you have one more course is called perdagangan, which I don't know why is it in English, but I'm pretty sure it's in business. Okay, so anyways, initially I got sorted into art, and oh my god, like literally the moment where I heard that I got sorted into art, I could literally picture, like, you know, in the cartoon where the cartoon character hears a bad news and the frame suddenly like goes very wide, and this cartoon character turns very small, and there's like thunders and clouds at the background going bing bong or whatever thunder noise they're making. Yeah, that was like the precise thing that I felt went through in my mind when I heard that I was sorted into art stream, because I can't draw and I can kind of paint, but I can't draw to save my life or anybody's life for the matter, okay? And anyways, I seriously have like such a big envy for the people who can draw and paint. Oh my god, do you like seriously, you don't know how much I appreciate the people who can just paint without even drawing anything. That's like seriously such a freaking talent. Like my talent is like nothing. It's like not drawing or whatever, it's just writing. Like that's my talent. And how am I supposed to showcase my writing on YouTube? I can't do that. So yeah, like currently I'm working on like a series of stories which I'm hoping that I can publish in the future. So yeah, that's like one more thing to look forward to. I'm not that I'm complaining that I can write. Personally, I enjoy writing so much. And yeah, I like that I can create like a lot of different storylines for different characters. And yeah, anyways, moving back to the art story. So when my parents heard that I got sorted into arts, like literally the very same week, they decided to enroll me into one of the very famous arts academy that was in my neighborhood. Not neighborhood, like my area. And I remember, I was like probably like one of the oldest students there, because like I was Form 5, and even though like the standard Form 5 age is 17, but I was 16 because I was born like on the 1st January of 1998, and because I was born on the 1st January, I had this opportunity to skip a grade and join the 1997 batch. But obviously a lot of people don't know that. And when I remember, I had like such severe social anxiety back then, even until now actually. I don't like to move or speak when I'm in a new environment. I hate it. I'm just there sitting still, playing on my phone, trying to look busy. But even when I'm trying to distract myself by playing on my phone, I don't actually distract myself. I just like feel even more subconscious, because I kind of feel like more people are staring at me, wondering why I'm being antisocial by playing my phone. Yeah, gonna need therapy for that in a couple of years when I can afford it. So when I first set foot into the arts class, there was like so much expenses, because my parents had to buy painting materials and like brushes and buckets, and like the ones that you saw in the beginning of this video. Yeah, like those are like the art supplies that I never actually got around to use, and they're very freaking new. Maybe I could resell them, but I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna keep it to myself and maybe pass it down to my children or something, which I'm not sure whether the brushes will last or not, but I'm hoping they can last that long, because they're freaking expensive. And anyways, I remember the teacher who was in charge of the art class that I went to, he was in his late 20s, if I'm not mistaken, and he had this really um he has this face that just shows that he's not in a good mood. I don't know whether he was like born like that or like he was in not such a good mood or whatever. And because I had social anxiety, and yeah, I never really said anything. And I remember, like I told you and I mentioned like so many times I can't draw. And I remember he just gave me this portfolio and asked me to choose from the pictures in the portfolio. Just told me to replicate one of the pictures. And I remember I chose this picture of a woman, not because I can draw it, because it was like the simplest that I see based on the other portfolios. Now, because I have social anxiety, I basically spent the entire, I think almost 2 hours, entire session sitting there trying to draw this woman. I actually already drew finish, and I actually thought I did like a semi decent job. But the thing is that I think that time I wasn't that confident in painting yet. I never painted anything that's like like last time I'm not as active on YouTube, and I'm not sure whether when I was 16 and 17 whether like the trend of watching people post stuff on like how to draw things on YouTube was like a trend or anything. But yeah, I like literally had no idea to paint. Like I needed lines in order to paint. I didn't know like how to paint like the entire canvas in yellow and then later mix splashes of oranges and pink and so on it. I like have absolutely zero knowledge on that, and the teacher never like taught me anything. And I remember I was just sitting there like suffering until the end of the session, and I think the class ends at 10. Wait, I'm not sure whether the class was like 2 hours or 1 hour lah, okay? So I'm just gonna say it's a session. And I remember there was like 10 minutes before class ends, and people were like packing up, And what's like the embarrassing part is that there's like so many students there who are like clearly a lot younger and a lot more talented than me, because they're probably been exposed to being to painting and drawing ever since they're like probably 2 years old, I'm assuming. They're long story short, they're basically very talented. And I remember there was like 10 minutes left before the class, and the teacher finally for the first time approached me, and he was half shocked and maybe half angry because his tone was not the nicest. And he was like, "Oh my god, you only finished drawing?" It's like such a judgmental tone, like I don't know whether my social anxiety side speaking, but like he was like raising his voice, okay, and I was scared, and I was at this new environment. I was like really stressed out, and on top of that, I didn't really want to go into art, so I was like still pretty depressed about that. And he ended up like painting the entire thing for me, and I just like, it was like my first time watching someone dipping paint and painting the entire painting yellow before mixing like other splashes of colors on it. Okay, that was my first and last time going to that art class, because like a couple of days after, I got the notification or the announcement or the info that my transfer to the economics class was successful, because like in my batch because in my batch we basically have two divisions for the art stream. One is accounts, economics, and perdagangan, business. The other one is accounts, arts, and perdagangan. Okay, and my English teacher, oh wait, I'm not supposed to say that? Okay, so one of my teachers, let's call her Mrs. E. Mrs. E was my English teacher at school. Well, she is the English teacher at school, but she doesn't teach me, but I go to her for tuition after class, which I really enjoyed her classes so much because she is like such a funny woman, even though to be honest, I don't really need English tuition. Oh my god, so I just realized I sound so arrogant. Oh my god. So anyways, Mrs. E was on really good terms with our economics teacher of our school, and she managed to persuade this economics teacher to give me and a couple other students the opportunity to take an economics test, and for her to decide whether she wants to take us in for her economics class. And that's like a story for another day. I have a lot of interesting and cringy stories about my experience doing economics as well. And oh my god. And so like after this disastrous and, to be honest, humiliating art class, that was like the first and last time I went there. And a few days later I got the notification that I was transferred to the economics class. And to be honest, I was like thanking every god I could think of in my mind, because I was so grateful to transfer to the economics class partially. And the other bigger reason is because I don't need to go back to the art class and continue to humiliate myself as I struggle with my social anxiety. So yeah, that's like the story of my experience, my terrible, embarrassing experience. I wanted to use another adjective, but I couldn't think of any. Anyway, so that's my embarrassing and terrible experience with art. And I was thinking like if I ever have kids in the future, I'm definitely sending them to arts class when they are in primary school until God knows how many years, but not until so like I don't know lah. Okay, it's just that I don't like not knowing how to do stuff and people shame me for it. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in the world. So yeah, thanks for listening to my story. And as you can see, we have come to the end of the time lapse. As you can see me finishing the last bit of my patch right here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm hoping that you'll join me for another session in the future, because I'm planning to upload more podcasts in the future. Right now I'm waiting for my friend to finish designing the cover art for me. And we have also at the same time come to the end of my paint with numbers painting as well, and it turned out much better than I expected, especially with the sky part. Like, I don't mind sharing my embarrassing or stupid experiences with you guys if it helps to lift up your mood, especially if you're in a bad day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you can click the subscribe button, because in the future I'll be posting more videos. I'm trying to be more active because that it's always my assignments and my uni work that has been occupying me, so I don't really have that much time to upload content on YouTube. Actually, I feel like I have quite a number of content. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing it this way. Like, if I don't get to upload any vlogs, I'll be uploading podcasts. But now I'm waiting for my friend to finish designing and drawing my podcast cover for me so I can begin. While in the meantime, I'll be recording more podcasts first, and I'll upload them according to a schedule or something, because it's been quite fun actually to be talking to you guys and sharing my experiences. And I hope that you guys can stay for more future stories, and maybe I was planning to do some literature analysis and stuff. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be like a fun time in the future. So yeah, take care of yourself during this coronavirus pandemic. I'm pretty sure we are still in a pandemic. Please wear your face mask, the surgical face mask, and sanitize your hands. Don't touch anything, don't touch your face, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your mouth when you're outside, and shower as soon as you get home. Take care, guys, and I hope to see you soon in my next podcast or video. Bye.
You said, text me when you get here. You made it so clear it'd be nothing more than our clothes on the floor. Only wanted me naked, but you can have your cake and eat it all the time, all the time. Whoa, oh, whoa, 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 oh. From 2110.